Segment number 2, overnight line movers, Teddy. Where do we find those at? SBRodds.com, the single best place on the internet to get those line movements. Always moving 24/7. How about this one, Teddy? Boyd flips to a favorite versus Bundy. That's Tigers and Orioles. If you saw yesterday, whoa, those Baltimore Orioles hung on in the ninth inning to get a 5-3 win over the Tigers. Not expecting 2 in a row today, Teddy, because as we said, Tigers open up at plus 105. Now sit at 112. Boyd, to me, is the best pitcher on the Detroit staff and the only backable guy, and here's a chance to do it against a bad baseball team.
And that's what the markets are saying. I mean, Boyd is the only healthy Tiger starter. The other 4 guys that they came up from spring training with are on the DL right now. Ron Gardenhire, quote, "We don't have enough down there in the minor leagues that can really come up and do anything right now. They're not ready for this." Gardenhire was talking about they're looking for pitching students anywhere. It's tough. We even went into Double-A bringing people up. We're still trying to finagle our way through. We're signing older guys. We're just trying. All the staff is trying to find people to help us get through it. It all boils down to those 4 injured starters. As you mentioned, Boyd's the one guy who's not hurt, but behind him, we cannot trust the Tigers bullpen to do anything right now. Not that the Orioles bullpen's all that by any stretch of the imagination, but at least Baltimore's hitting right now. And playing probably their best baseball of the season since the opening week. A little bit surprised at all the Detroit money. I'll put it this way. Not my money, even though Boyd has been their most effective starter.
You brought up some pretty good points right there, Teddy, because Detroit, I mean, how bad does it get there? We're not ready. Looking to sign Bartolo Colon at this time, and then we flip it over to the Orioles bullpen. Yesterday, Teddy, in a game where you don't get very many wins in Baltimore. You don't get very many chances to close out a game. And I was watching Dan Straley get a majority of the pitching options late in the ball game. That'll tell you the tale of 2 baseball clubs right now. Miami back home and getting early money. Down in Marlins Park, Teddy. Marlins open up at plus 111. Now sit at minus 113. Samardzija versus Richards. Look, this isn't, Caleb Smith on the mound, who did get busted up a couple games ago. This is Richards on the mound. He's not very good, Teddy, but we're backing him here, it looks like.
Well, the markets are backing him. Not with my money, but the markets are backing him. And it's really an interesting spot. There's a lot of fade of Jeff Samardzija here. And Samardzija's last start was kind of ugly. Well, it's more than kind of ugly. 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 runs allowed, but none of them were earned. He had a throwing error. He had a wild pitch. He gave up 6 runs in the second. Bruce Bochy, after the game, that was some of Samardzija's best stuff all year. We just gave them too many outs in that second inning. Markets are not high on Samardzija. And here's Miami. As you mentioned, the Giants have lost 5 in a row. They're coming off a dismal homestand, a really ugly homestand, traveling east. Market's not high on that, not high on Samardzija. And Richards, markets aren't particularly high on him, but here's Miami. They just closed out a winning road trip with a come-from-behind win against the Nats on Sunday. Neil Walker, quote, "Scrappy game right there. Good to finish in the road trip with a winning record and head back home." There's certainly a buy sign in the markets on the Marlins right now. That's definitely reflected in this current number.
Cold weather, Teddy, moving across the country, I guess. Here you got a little bit of a scrape with that in Las Vegas. Now we're going to get a little bit in Denver today. Chilly temperatures and wind blowing in at Coors. That's showing an effect on the total, which opened up at 12.5. Did dip, Teddy, to 11.5, but now seeing a little bit of a rebound back to 12. It's Kelly and Sensatella. Yesterday, it's prefaced by saying this was an extra inning game yesterday that the Colorado Rockies won. I believe their 3rd straight win that they've had in walk-off fashion. Cold weather, Teddy. May. I don't like it.
Yeah, they're telling me it was freezing in Vegas on Memorial Day weekend. I didn't like it either. But we have temperatures in the 40s. The wind's blowing in from left field. The Rockies just placed Charlie Blackmon on the DL, strained right calf. And a couple of starters who are coming off some ugly outings. Sensatella is a guy who has potential. Kelly's a guy who has potential. But both guys coming off ugly outings. By Black. It was a bit rough for Antonio for sure. He couldn't seem to get anything going as far as stringing pitches together. And of course, Sensatella's had a terrible track record against Arizona, 1-4 with a 6.14 ERA. But the weather conditions certainly affecting this total. Going to be hard for runs in bunches in Coors on a pretty ugly day in Colorado.